YouTube. So I've got the greenhouse to the point where the boss can make it the way she wants it. So she's vacuuming up over there and getting the hydroponic thing pretty much set up. I need to get some of my tools out of here yet that I have laying here on the wood pile, and then we'll have to do some planting and stuff. So she's happy, and I gotta go and do something else now. Okay, so I've got the biggest log, the biggest pine log that I've had yet is on the mill there. It's pretty much, at this end I think it's 28 inches, so that's the maximum for this saw. You can see when you look down there, it's just off the main rail, and on this side it's just off the main rail. It's actually fairly straight. This is the bottom of that first big pine tree that I cut about a month ago, I guess. So I'm going to be cutting this up shortly here. But before I do that, I want to finish cleaning up here because I'm finding myself tripping and falling over half this crap. Now I do have mostly everything cleaned up there. I piled the lumber that was on the horses. Those two oak boards are actually scrap, but I piled most of the lumber away. What I want to do is cut this little stuff up into kindling and put it in the kindling bin, and then I'm pretty much cleaned up. You can see I got that side of the sawmill on the left here, over here, cleaned up, so we should be in good shape for a while. Some of the things that you want to have available. Now, I had said before, I'm making 2-foot skid piles because that's the size of my forks right now that I can use to move stuff. So these here are the bottom boards. There are 2x4s and 4x4s. Are for the you set the base down, and then you put the wood, you stack the first layer of wood on that, and then the rest of them are stickers. They're 2-foot stickers there so that I can sticker wood once I cut it. So when I cut this big pine tree, then, I mean, a lot of you have seen me do this already, but what I'll do is somewhere up on the flat there, up in here, I will put the 4x4s or 5 4x4s down, and then start laying the boards on that come off of that log. I'm expecting to get a lot of 1x off of that because I don't want any more 2x's. I think I have enough 2x stuff, but it all depends on what it looks like and what size cant I get out of it. This stuff here I cut up with a circular saw. That's going into the kindling bin for next year. All I want to do is split that a little bit. Just telling you this stuff so in case there's some guys out there who are trying to figure out how to get rid of everything, you know, you can use a lot of this stuff, especially if you burn firewood like I do in the garage. Okay, so the LT15 goes 27 inches above the bunk. So you can see that this last part of the log has like a sweep to it. But regardless, it's higher than what the sawmill is actually. The sawmill can cut probably a 30-inch log. I mean, as far as the height goes, and to peel off what we're going to peel off there, and that's about the size of it. So we're not, the cant that we're going to get isn't going to come from this end, it's going to come from that end, the size. So what we're looking at here is a 15-inch cant. So we should get some nice boards out of this. I'm going to try to get the 1x12s. And cut whatever other kind of boards I can into 2x's. So that's where we'll be headed today. Hey YouTube, I'm making a little video here. One of my subscribers bought this on Amazon and had it sent to me. It's a scanner. It reminds you of one of them body scanners, but it's supposed to be able to find metal, you know, naturally, a metal detector. So I ordered one of these, and now I have 2 of them, but this is the one that he had sent to me, and it actually came before the one that I ordered, but I had already ordered it, so, and I wasn't sure what was going on, so I just bought, you know, the 2 of them, and that's fine. But what I want to say is it's the first time I'm using it. It takes a 9-volt battery. When you turn it on, there's a green light there, tells you that everything is okay. And when you find metal, it turns red and actually makes the beeping tone. And you can also, there's a sensitivity button you can push, not to increase sensitivity, but it decreases it. And also another button that is used to vibrate in case you can't hear very well. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure which. Yeah, the red button is for the vibrator. So there's a vibrator here, and then there's a charging thing. Nice little belt loop. I don't wear a belt, but you know, still have a place to hang this. So I'm going to hang it onto the side of the Woodmizer. The reason that I'm glad that I appreciate that a subscriber sent me something like this, because it is nice. I mean, the guy didn't have to do it, and I don't want to mention his name because I'm not sure if he'll be embarrassed or not. But regardless, if you read my comments, you can guess, you know, the person's name. However, very nice of the person to do this. I'm not used to that because I've worked and earned all of my own stuff. It's kind of new to me to get something from someone I don't even know, and I'm not sure of why exactly, because you know, I haven't really talked to him about it. But anyway, it's very nice, and it does seem to work good. Now, the reason that I actually bought one as well, and I'm glad that I have it, is this log here in particular. When I cut this log down, I asked the guy if he thought there was any metal in it, and I usually do ask people that just for the heck of it. He said that they had hung a sign on this, a target, and he doesn't remember when. It must have been at least 20 years ago, and he said they were shooting at it. So apparently there's bullets in this tree somewhere. Now, I have an X on the tree, which is down here, and that's actually where it was facing when, you know, the face that he told me they shot into was down here. Now, I'm not after that right now, and I'm not seeing anything here either. Now, I have it on vibrate. Change those. That was the blade. Again, that's the blade. So I don't know if there's anything. Let me move this back a little. I'd say it was probably about 5 feet high, which is about right in this area where they were shooting. So if they did shoot, it's possible that the bullets are in there deep enough over time that this can't pick it up. I don't know for sure. Now that might be picking up the bump there, but down underneath that side is where the bullets are supposed to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting on the top here, and I got to cut this end off because it sort of sweeps up. And then I'll determine how I'm going to cut the log up. But I just wanted to say thanks for this to the guy that sent it, and you know, give it a try and see how it works. I mean, they're not really expensive, but at the same time, who knows what they've accomplished with electronics. So we'll see how it works out here. Okay, so I made my first cut, full cut, through there. I had cut a little bit off in the earlier part of the video. That was right at this end here, just to get it down a little bit because it was too high. So that's my first cut. The cut isn't bad. Where I have some substantial wood here, the Woodmizer cut a nice flat cut for me. In the middle there, where it was sort of coming in and out of the bark, it's a little bit wavy there, but I don't think it's the blade. I think it's just the way that the tree is. Looks like there might have been a couple branches in there or whatever, but I think once we get it to the point where I can actually do some, get some lumber, I think we'll be okay. So right now I'm going to turn this log, and then I'll do some more cutting. Okay, so I got it turned and dogged, so now I'll take another cut out of that. It's 27 inches there, so I'll take about a 1-inch cut out of the lowest spot. I don't know if it's here or not. Trying to make it a little easy for myself so I don't have to have such heavy flitches to move. put just water in there. It takes off some of the sap, but it doesn't take all the sap. So I spray a little WD-40 on it, and it's surprising how clean that can get it. Now I want to try and take a 1-inch cut out there and see what I end up with now. Get a 1x6 out of this. Let's jump. The cut's not bad, it's pretty flat. But when you're going through bark like that, at the other end, there's a little dip at the end. But I think it'll still be good once I get down into all wood. I want to make another 1-inch cut there. I cut that other board off at 8 foot because I can get a 1x6 8 foot long out of it. Okay, so I made a cut through there, 1 inch, but I didn't take the flitch off yet. The flitch is still on there. This log is 14 foot long, so you know, and it looks like I can get a 1x10 out of that. So 12 foot long, because I'm still not down to the wood at this far end here. So I'm going to take that 12 foot flitch off there, put it over here so I can cut it into a 1x10. Little piece like this I throw right in the bucket. I got to get rid of this pine then. Ooh. You know, if I go down to 8 foot, oh no, yeah, 1x10. Okay. Putting the flitches on that side that I'm going to be able to recut, because when I throw them over there in the scrap pile, I get scrap on top of them and it makes them harder to get at. Yeah, this cut, I can tell by looking at it, it's getting nicer and nicer every time I go through it. This size log should give me a 15-inch cant. Yeah, 15.5 inches, almost 16. Be nice if I could pull 16 inches out of it somehow. Got 16 inches right here already, but not at this 14 foot. I think I'm going to go down there another inch cut, and then I'll roll the cant. I'm still above 15. I'm at 17 inches from the edge of the bark here. I got 18 inches there. So if I go down 1 more inch, I'm still safe for my cant, and I don't want to go much further than that. Even though I have a little wane on this side, you can't that direction. So let me cut another inch board out of there. that far end here, I'm not what I ought to be, but it is past 12 foot, so at the 12 foot mark, I've got a 16-inch cant here, and I'm probably a little more once I take this switch off. This last 2 feet here, the tree seems to have taken a shrinking motion because it got a lot smaller there. So I think I'm going to cut that last 2 feet off. I'll keep this at 12 foot 3 and set this on the flitch pile over there where I can get some more wood from it. When I cut those flitches, I'm not putting too much pressure on the saw because I don't want to cut the cant underneath. Even a little bit of it can hurt you. They tell you on the instructions to keep it moving. Seems good so far. Alright, I gotta roll this again. Okay, so I turned that, and I gotta dog it now. Stops down, the long stops, because there's no need to have them. I put the stops down because there's no need to have them. this mark here is part of an X that I put on the tree when I cut it down that was showing where they had shot roughly. So I want to check that. Now the stump was probably about a foot off the ground, so you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 foot. So you would think that if there was a bullet in here, it would be in here somewhere. I don't see anything, and I certainly don't hear anything at this point. So we'll take another 1-inch cut off of this. Like 12 out of this clip. Part so far. Again, that far end there, that last 2 feet that I cut 14 foot, I should have cut this one at 12 because I really got some nice foot up until 12 feet. So I'm going to turn this again now. See how we end up. You can see, once I get down there, I don't know, maybe 3 inches, I'll be into the full cant there at the 14-foot level. But it does take quite a bit off. You can see the wane at the bottom here, as well as the top. So that's going to narrow that cant up pretty much if I go for the 14-foot. So you can see right at the 12-foot mark, which is right here, got a beautiful cant. I'm just going to keep playing with this, letting it be part of the cant until I get down to it, and then I'll have the same thing as I would have if I, you know, was just cutting straight off here. But I'm getting a lot of nice pores off this log, consider that I've only gone down about 3 inches into it. So I got the chain hooked up there. I'm going to roll that now. think after I get this flitches off of here, I'm going to sharpen that blade so I can get some nice cuts out there. Well, I'm not hearing nothing. I'm not hearing nothing, so I don't know, maybe he was shooting at a different tree. The guy that told me this is 82 years old, so he might have forgot. You never know. I'll just check it every time I make a cut, see if I get close to it. Okay. Another inch. That's a lot of wood to be cutting there. I mean, 14 foot long, and then the width that I got there, probably about 14 inches wide at that point. But it will take another inch off, and I should be able to get a 1x6 out of that, I believe. Cleared, but now I can cut this way Down here I ran off the tree or ran out of the tree, I mean, so now I get an 8-foot one by 8 out of this. It looks like I'm slowed down a lot more than normal. It's because I am. The springtime like this puts a lot of hours on you to get caught up with stuff. The little dip that the blade took was right here where I came out of the tree. So that's beyond. That up there is nice and straight. So we're good here yet. And now to cut after that is straight. Yeah, that's one heck of a cant there, that is. Inches, 15. Oh, so far so good. Now the thing is, I should go down here at least another inch, and I'll have most of the bark off the tree. So I'll go down another inch, and it looks like I'll be getting a 1x12 hopefully out of that. Maybe a 1x10 because I got two places where there's an hourglass shape to it. Take one more inch off of this. This is a 1x12 here, and it's going to be 14 foot. Whew. I think I'm going to stop for the day. I'm beat. gotta tell you, this is some wood. Man, oh man, this is beautiful. Where do you look? Where do you see this? Check this out. This is 14 foot by 16 inches. 2, 3, 4, 5 knots that are less than 1 inch. That's 1 inch. Here's one. This is beautiful. Man, oh man. This is something to make siding out of, but I don't have a place to get rid of it right now. Beautiful wood. I love that pinkish hue that's on there. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. 18 by 16. It's a lot of wood for that little LT15 to be cutting through. Tell you what, I don't care what anybody says, this friggin' Woodmizer is doing one heck of a job here. 18-inch cuts like that. Although that last cut I was struggling to get through it. I'm going to sharpen that blade because I'm going to need a good sharp blade to be cutting 1 by 12. So I'll sharpen this in the morning and then I'll come back to cutting. Nice, beautiful piece of wood. I wonder if there's anything in there. Remember now, this is the side here that had the bullet holes apparently in it. I don't see anything here that would indicate any kind of bullet. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. At least there's no nails in it that were recent. Okay guys, you're gonna have to tune back in for tomorrow. It's not clickbait, I just can't do any more today. My wife and I worked pretty hard. The greenhouse is all set up. I had everything cleaned up here. I'm gonna get rid of this sawdust. I made 2 trips with the backhoe to get rid of some stuff that the guy was taking. So, man, what a camp. Just to give you an idea of the size here, let me set the chainsaw on here. Nice big piece of wood. Yeah. Yep. Have a good one. Well guys, so far my super scanner did not find any nails or indicate any nails or bullets or anything, and I didn't hit any. So, you know, you want it because you want to find the stuff if it's there, but not hearing it beep is the ideal thing, because think about it. If you heard it, then you got to be there with a hatchet trying to find what's in there. So, you know, I really don't want anything to be in there. This log is too nice for that. But it seems to be working pretty good. I like it though.